Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Rosalio Turbiartes here with a new video for you. In this deep dive, we'll dive into Kota Izumi from the My Hero Academia anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. In this deep dive, we'll be delving into Kota Izumi's character and how he influences the overall themes of the hero society within the My Hero Academia universe. Kota first appeared as an annoyed-looking kid alongside with his eccentric group called the Wild Wild Pussycats. When Kota is first introduced in Season 3, he makes a strong first impression as he punches Midoriya in the groin. Of course, he didn't just do this because he was a reckless 5-year-old. In actuality, he's more mature than most kids of his age. The reason he did such an intensely negative reaction towards Midoriya was due to his internalized deep disdain towards hero society as a whole. He says, "I don't intend to hang out with guys who want to become heroes." As we find out in episode 40, Kota's parents passed away while in the line of duty as heroes, leaving him in the care of his cousin and pro-hero Mandalay. Kota had barely lived his life for 5 years when the center of his universe, his parents, were taken away from him. All the people around him were celebrating their deaths as honorable. But to Kota, he felt completely and utterly abandoned by the people who were supposed to be permanent fixtures in his life. Imagine how lost and confused he felt, hearing that it was all a good thing that his parents were murdered because it was a noble death. Kota is just a child and barely knew the world around him, but he was suddenly thrust into reality of a superpowered society. He was unable to comprehend why his parents died and what they were fighting for. What were heroes? What were villains? Why do people have quirks? Why is everyone fighting over confusing matters? These thoughts plagued Kota's young mind and warped his perception of heroes as selfish people who would rather save others than think about who's closest to them. Selfless selfishness. This oxymoron is a term that refers to the type of people that are willing to risk their lives for the sake of other people, even if it costs them their life. Despite the very selfless nature of working as a hero, it is inherently selfish, as the hero knows that their death or injury will gravely hurt those who care about them. Heroes are selflessly selfish. Kota's story also mirrors that of the series' antagonist Shigaraki. Both characters have a disdain for heroes because they smile at the presence themselves confidently to the public as civil defenders, but at the end of the day, they know that they can't save everyone. To those who have been failed by hero society, such as Kota and Shigaraki, the idea of heroes is hypocritical and insulting. They smile thoughtlessly when people are suffering and they get killed protecting strangers, leaving their loved ones behind. This poses an interesting question about our protagonist, Izuku Midoriya. By being a hero, he is knowingly setting his loved ones up for emotional pain and misery if something happens to him. In fact, he has already caused a lot of people pain and worry due to the constant injuries he sustained. How can he be a hero if he keeps hurting those who love him to protect the lives of strangers? When Midoriya finds Kota at his secret hideout, he manages to break through the kid's walls by mentioning his parents, death directly by their name. The hero team water hose. This spurs Kota to admitting what exactly he hates about heroes. He says, "Everyone's crazy, calling each other stupid names like hero or villain and killing each other, talking about quirks and stuff. It's because they're all showing off that it ended up like that. Stupid." Midoriya deeply sympathizes with Kota and tells him of a quirkless friend who did everything in his power to have a quirk, for it only to be no use, of course. This hypothetical friend is Midoriya himself, and he draws from his past experiences to warn Kota that if he keeps rejecting quirks and superhuman society, it will only cause him more pain. Kota was unable to process Midoriya's point due to his denial, promptly kicking Midoriya out of his hideout. As Midoriya dwells over his conundrum, he's forced to come to a solution sooner rather than later. Amid a villain attack, Kota was unfortunately confronted by the very same villain who had murdered his parents, Muscular. This video is sponsored by Adobe. Adobe is redefining the digital experiences through the game-changing innovations that shape the next generation of storytelling. Adobe makes it easy to create, edit, and share digital documents securely, allowing you to collaborate and communicate across other devices. Adobe Photoshop is your to-go application for faster graphics editing and digital art as a whole. At We the Celestials, our thumbnails across every channel are created by Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Premiere is a pro timeline-based and non-linear video editing software application that is versatile and easy for beginning and mastering editors. Finally, Adobe After Effects is the industry standard tool for digital visual effects, motion graphics, and composing applications used in post-production. Many of our voice actors, audio editors, and video editors use Premiere Pro and After Effects to produce these high-quality videos. Click the link in the description to start creating now, and thank you Adobe for sponsoring this video. Just like the same hero who thoughtlessly smiles, Midoriya vowed to save Kota no matter what, with a smile on his face. He is being a hero Kota needs, the hero that Shigaraki needed. During Midoriya and Muscular's fight, Kota was spurred on to throw a stone at Muscular in retaliation for what he did to his parents. Seeing how Muscular tormented Midoriya made him question whether if the villain did the same thing to his parents. This fight was an eye-opening realization for Kota, as he starts to realize how the dynamic between heroes and villains is. He no longer blames his parents' choice to be heroes as the reason they died. They died because of villains like Muscular. Muscular then introduces another unique perspective on hero society. He is a villain because he's doing what he wants to do, to murder to satiate his bloodlust. Everyone involved was doing only what they wanted, so Kota's parents shouldn't have wanted to do something they couldn't do. They caused their own deaths. Midoriya counters this worldview as he continues his fight against Muscular. He demonstrates that a hero's job isn't just being a figurehead, and does lip service to satisfy the public. They risk their lives to make what they stand for, and what they promise a reality. Heroes understand that they can't save everyone. Heroes know that in risking their lives, they will inevitably hurt people. But they aren't smiling thoughtlessly, or purposefully being selfish. True heroes are fighting for a better society for all, for their families, and for a place where those in need won't fall through the cracks. Seeing Midoriya push himself above his physical limits and brutally destroying his body to protect him, Kota finally draws the courage to use his quirk too. It's not particularly a powerful quirk, but the implications are powerful for Kota to finally use the power that he has rejected since the death of his parents. He hates heroism, yet he is risking his life to give Midoriya a chance to retaliate. He hates superhuman society, yet he's using his inherited quirk to fight. It makes sense why Kota dislikes quirks, especially his own, as his quirks implies to be the same as his parents, if not very similar. He can release a splash of water from his hands. Seeing that he has the same quirk as his dead parents, the quirk that he believed his parents were using to show off by being heroes, he will have been absolutely disgusted by it, but he still used it. He even used it after Midoriya's fight with Muscular, putting out forest fires. Seeing Kota move past his mental block inspired Midoriya to go beyond Plus Ultra and defeat Muscular. Kota remembers what his cousin Mandalay once told him. His parents may have left him behind, but their sacrifice definitely saved lives. Although Kota may not understand why they did what they did, one day there will be a hero who will risk their lives to save his. Then he'd understand why heroes do what they do, why they risk their lives in the sake of others, why his parents follow that path. At first, he was completely utterly disgusted by that thought, as he believed that there was no way that someone like that would exist. But the moment he saw Midoriya risking his life to save him, he understood. Midoriya was a hero. The last we see of Kota in the anime is when he showed up in the UA dorms with the Wild Wild Pussycats. A major difference in his character design is in his red shoes, which are directly referenced to Midoriya's own red shoes, showing how much of an impact the young hero had on him. From this point onward, Kota has only been referenced in the anime at the time of writing. In episode 60, End of the Beginning, Beginning of the End, a letter Kota wrote to Midoriya is briefly mentioned when All Might goes to Midoriya's house to apologize for allowing Izuku to come to harm's way at his time at UA. Midoriya uses this letter to affirm the fact that no matter what Hero Academy he attends, he would still be a hero because he saved Kota, his first official fan. In episode 64, The Scoop on UA Class 1A, a journalist reveals that he figures out that Midoriya was All Might's successor through some evidence he collected. One such source was when he talked to Kota about Midoriya. Kota's most recent appearance is in the manga during the Tatara Escapes arc in chapter 324. In this chapter, Midoriya returns to the UA after running away in fear of his friends and family being targeted by All for One. His return is met with backlash from fearful residents within the UA walls, but a woman Midoriya saved stands up for him. In solidarity with Midoriya, Kota finds his voice and says, "I'm sorry, I was too scared to run over here. Sorry, so sorry. But then that lady stood up and said that stuff. I had to try because I want to be like you. That's why I am here. Get it? You don't gotta cry anymore. You'll be okay." After being saved by Midoriya all those months ago, Kota is now doing the same thing for him. Midoriya shaped who Kota is and who he wants to be. He wants to be someone who saves others, and he's saving Midoriya by speaking up for him so that he can stay at UA. Kota has equally shaped Midoriya as Midoriya shaped Kota. The kid was his first fan, and one of the first people he saved on his own. Kota's character presented as a difficult challenge that Midoriya is still trying to find the solution to. What exactly makes a hero? Kota may have only had a brief appearance in the My Hero Academia series, but his impact is still felt how Midoriya views himself and heroism. His views challenged Midoriya's existing beliefs and demonstrated another way in which hero society has failed someone. As we've learned in the Villain Academia arc, we know that all it takes is one bad day for a regular kid to become a villain. It was entirely in the realm of possibility for Kota to have become a villain, fueled by his hatred for self-serving heroes who don't care about their families. It was through Midoriya that he was saved. Not just saved physically from Muscular, but saved from himself and his jaded view of the world. This furthers the point that Midoriya is going to change the hero society as a whole. Kota is a pillar in Midoriya's heroic journey. And even if Midoriya doesn't make it to the other side of the war, he is at least the world's greatest hero to someone. The world's greatest hero to Izumi Kota. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all of this information thus far. I really hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials have got you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join our team. The only caveat being is that we only accept members from 16 and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by using the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking forward for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us from today's video, so thank you for watching and have a great day.